Well, this weekend, a free event is happening in the Lakes region to teach and educate children about the importance of bike safety.
As the weather warms up and kids jump on their bikes, it's important to remind Maine's youngest how they can stay safe while still enjoying some fresh air. Joining us this morning for the Bike Coalition of Maine is their Deputy Director, Dan Bassett. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.
Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, first of all, tell you about the organization. You guys have been around for a long time helping out with bike safety.
Yes, we've been around since 1992, and we are Maine's kind of general umbrella bicycle organization. We have three main pillars: education, advocacy, and encouragement. So,
tell us about your involvement specifically, your role, and how you got involved. And have you always been a bicyclist?
Yeah, been a lifelong biker since I was. I think I got my first mountain bike at the age of 10. So it's kind of been a two-wheel journey since then. But yeah, my role is I manage our education program and also just help to support the general operations of our organization as well. So
let's talk about the event coming up this Saturday. Who's invited and what are kids going to learn?
So yeah, so everyone's invited. It's a public event. It's at Crooked River School in Casco. It's a bicycle safety rodeo. So essentially it's a closed course we make out of chalk that kind of simulates a road scenario for students, or anyone. Kind of ride around and get comfortable with how a road works and how to navigate with your bicycle.
How many years have you been doing events like this? And do you find that, year after year you kind of change the message, or, are there different trends that you kind of try to look at as far as what you want to teach the kids? Yeah,
we've been doing this for years, well before I joined the organization. And the message kind of stays the same a lot of the times, like follow the rules. The general rule of thumb with riding bikes is if a car has to do it, you have to do it as well. So make sure you communicate with other road users using hand signals, stop at stop signs, and just be defensive as best you can. And then we also try to give a message to other road users like drivers who happen to be at the event too, just to let them know that you also have responsibility to watch out for cyclists and pedestrians and anyone else out on the road too.
And just like a yearly health checkup with your doctor, you got to have your bike go through that too.
Yes, so we teach everyone how to do a ABC quick check, which is covering your air, so checking your tires, your brakes. Those tend to be kind of important on a bike. And your chain, which C stands for chain, which is just your drivetrain, making sure your bike shifts gears well, your chain isn't rusty. It just overall is in good working condition, because a bike in good working condition is much safer than one that's not. So
talk about the importance of helmets, and if a child doesn't have one, are there resources available, or do you try to help them find the right place to get one?
Yes, helmets are incredibly important. If you ever have seen a helmet that's been through an accident, usually it's all crushed on the inside, it's all spider webbing, and that usually comes from just the energy being dispersed through there. If you're not wearing a helmet, it's your skull that does that. So they're really important. In the state of Maine, there is a law that if you're 16 or younger and you're out on a public road, you have to wear a helmet. It all depends on which town enforces these, but that is the law. If children are looking for a helmet, or parents want to get a helmet, they don't have the resources, I recommend reaching out to your local police department. Sometimes organizations like a Kiwanis or an Elks might actually have resources to source these things for a community event. So,
you guys have come a long way. I remember doing some stories back in the 90s when I worked here at Channel 13 with the Bike Coalition of Maine. And back then there were like no bike lanes. But there's so many now, but I think it's still lacking, because I talk to so many people, and even at the times I get nervous about riding my bike out there. And what can we do to get more bike lanes to make riding a bike more safe out there? And of course, people get nervous about people in cars not paying attention, being on their phones and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for more bike lanes, I recommend going to your local town council, your city planner, and voicing your concerns. A lot of towns have bicycle and pedestrian advisory committees that do this work. Portland has one, and then I believe Yarmouth and Freeport have a very active one as well, just locally. So it's a great place to get involved. Yeah, in terms of distracted driving and other concerns, most people who ride bikes also drive. So when you're driving, consider what you would want drivers to do around you if you're riding your bike. So staying off your phone, giving cyclists at least 3 feet of space, and passing to do so when it's safely. If there's an oncoming car and you got to pass a cyclist, wait for that car to pass, then go around.
Are there any big mistakes that you see or common mistakes you see kids doing that you try to, correct with these events, or things that they're just not doing?
Yeah, hand signals. Hand signals can be a really big way to be safe on the roads. Just, over communicating is important. Riding with traffic, stopping at stop signs, and if you can, please wear a helmet.
Yeah, let's get back to the bike rodeo. You guys not just teaching them safety and doing a bike checkup, but there's going to be prizes available and all kinds of fun things too.
Yeah, a lot of these events tend to have, raffles. I've been to a bunch where they've given away, bikes. They tend to really be more of a community event, more than just like riding your bike. So, sometimes we have like a touch a truck going on with like the fire department, the police department there. So there's a lot of different ways that the community gets involved with these events. They tend to be one of the bigger events for some of these towns every year. I mean, I think Lincoln, Maine has one of the biggest attended rodeos we have every year. They have over 60, 70 kids that attend it.
Does it mean a lot to you to see, a great turnout at events like this, just showing that, kids and families are getting outside, enjoying, they're exercising and wanting to stay safe?
Yeah, it means the world to me. I mean, I'm a lifelong cyclist. It's given me so much. And to see other people find that joy riding bikes is immensely important to me. So
Yeah, and again, whether you're driving a car or on a bike, safety first.
Safety first. Yeah.
All right. Remind everybody of the location and hours for the event.
Yeah, so the event will be happening at Cricket River School in Casco from 2 to 4, and it's open to the public.
Awesome.
And for more information about your organization, they can go to?
Yeah, go to bikemaine.org, and we'll visit our office at 38 Diamond Street in Portland.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Stay safe out there.